Good morning and welcome back to Theo's Theories. Back to talking about religion from the beginning and how it coincides with the minds of men and women today based off the beginning of man and woman. It's part 2. Now, picking up from where I left off at the first video, the stories of the women in the Bible are not successful story of women, period. Like Delilah and Samson. Who did God really talk to in that story? He talked to Samson. He gave Samson a command. Do not cut your hair off, because your hair is your strength. Now, by that command given to Samson, Samson allowed Delilah, which was a vessel of Lilith, because she was using her beauty and her body to put comfortability into Samson and to making him believe that his hair wasn't his strength. So Samson got himself caught up in the manipulation and the body movements of Delilah, where she was able to manipulate Samson to cut his hair off. And as soon as Samson cut his hair off, Delilah betrayed him, which that got him in captive with the king. At that time, we were the leader. I'm not trying to really talk about what type of people they were with El Kishibe and stuff like that, but people know the story. So that story of, Samson and Delilah, is an example of a Satan vessel out of a female. You got another story. You got Gomorrah. And they say the name of the city was Sodom. So, I'm not really good with the names of that husband, the name of that husband rather. But anyway, in that story, God gave her husband a command where the city was chaotic, just like today's society is chaotic. And the reason why today's society is chaotic like it was back then as a chaotic city, because that chaotic city was a governed city. And it went AWOL, just like today's society is going AWOL. But anyway, the command to her husband was to take his wife and leave that city and do not look back. Well, once again, the woman species have done exactly what the woman species has been taught to do through their own species. And that's obey what the man says from the command that was given to him from God. He said, do not look back. God said, do not look back. He said, just leave, walk forward, do not look back. But because you can't tell a woman nothing, she looked back anyway and turned into a pillar of salt. Now, why her husband turned into a pillar of salt? I don't know why. Because when she looked back and turned into a pillar of salt, that right there let him knew that the command was real. And he kept walking forward without looking back. So see, just by those two stories alone, just by the action of those two women, is how women are, period, from then to now. And that's not all women. Like I said, some women pay attention to the stories and some women read the stories. Two different things. So, how to convert a lot of stuff is not on the man to convert nothing. It's for the woman to convert, because she the one is the vessel of destruction. She is the vessel of destruction. There is no doubt that the book already has explained it from the first creations of species, of human species, period. Because in the animal world, the females do exactly what is told by the commands of God, especially with the male animal species or insects or whatever the case may be. They go by the commands of God. You know, they don't mix bloodlines, meaning lions and tigers don't hang around and sex you out and do all that dumb shit. They don't do that. They stay in their own core. But they go by the commands of God. They know what to eat. They know what not to eat. They was never told what to and what not to eat. They already have that sense of nature just by God, which man had that sense of nature also. But we was able to walk around and eat everything without having no sicknesses or no poisonous or nothing like that. Like, how many animals have you known in the wild to have any type of disease? Like, you can't even name one animal that goes around have a type of disease. When you're talking about mere creatures like raccoons and possums, yeah, they might have some type of disease because they eat roadkill. They eat stuff that's already dead. So they are really immune to diseases, but they can give it all to you and it affect you even worse. But when you're talking about Madagascar animals, when you're talking about, you know, the wild, you're not gonna really find too many animals in the wild sickening. Now, a lot of animals, they're gonna die out. You know, like humans is gonna die out also. But anyway, but what I'm saying is, in the whole nature of command of God is, we do not obey the commands of God. And the man himself has to obey the commands of God. It's not too much of praising nothing. Like, people want to praise God, but they don't want to obey God. Women do not obey God, period. That's any woman. Why? Because if a woman feels like she has a say-so in the presence of a man, then she is using her Satan vessel. She's not using her appraisal to God by praising her man. It says in the book that a woman cannot get to God unless she submit to a man. Now, a lot of Christian people say, well, that in the Bible. It's in there. It's in there. I don't read the Bible as much because, me personally, nobody on this planet in this day of time even live the Bible. They live the same scriptures that was being taught to me when I was going to church when I was young. Why I can speak on this because I come from a church family, both sides. I speak with them all the time. You know, the only one I never feuded with when it came to religion was my grandmother, because my grandmother didn't judge nobody for how they believed anything. She would tell you that in her mind, God is real. I heard stories of my grandmother, or whatever the case may be. You know, my mom was infuriated. She was the oldest, the spoiled brat, whatever the case may be. I'm the oldest. But anyway, my grandmother, whatever the way she was before I was born, I don't know. So I can't allow my mother or my aunts or uncles to tell me anything about my grandmother before I was born. Because after I was born, my grandmother was a straight slate. My grandfather was dead before I was born, but my grandmother raised 9 kids in a 4-bedroom house on a 3.5 acres of land. My great grandparents were still alive when I was born. I think my great grandfather, he passed when I was about 8, and I think my great grandmother passed when I was about 11, 12, 13, around the numbers right there. But out of those women that I was around, they had no Satan vessel on them at all. Not from what I saw growing up, seeing my grandmothers and stuff like that. So my grandmother didn't remarry. My grandmother had one friend, and he barely came to her house. My grandmother was a woman that she made her vows to a man that she married, and my grandmother never got married again. Now, as far as the next, part of her life, I don't know as far as why she didn't get married again. But what I'm just saying is my grandmother showed me no type of Satan vessel trait. The whole time I was, alive, the whole time she took care of me and stuff like that, She always taught me treat women with respect, no matter what. She said, be you, no matter what. Don't let nobody change who you are. Just because they are the way they are, that doesn't make you revert to being the way they are. She said, no, stay who you are. She's always told me never to give up on a lot of stuff, which I did give up on a lot of stuff, whatever, especially when she passed. I kind of threw my life in the gutter. I never was looking like this over there kissing me and stuff. I was always, had myself printed up and stuff like that, whatever. So I lost touch with society. Me being with a woman for 11 years, the Satan trait in her was she didn't want to listen to nothing. 11 years. We say, dang, that's a long time to be wasting with a female. Yes, it is. But she had a lot of Satan traits in her. Now, this third woman I'm going to talk about is going to blow everybody's head up, because they're not going to like this at all. Y'all not going to like this at all. If you're following, if you're subscribing, if you're hitting the like button, please do. The third woman I'm going to talk about in this book is very, 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 very highly rated in society today. I'm going to ask you this question before I even talk about this woman and this man. How many men married to a woman for so many years, y'all have no children, and your wife ends up pregnant, and she tells you it's the Son of God? Now pay attention. If you was married to a female for so many years with no kids, and she become pregnant and tell you she's pregnant with the Son of God, in reality of a mind frame of a man that's married to a woman that he didn't get pregnant, then she's pregnant, there's no damn way in the world he's gonna sit there and let that shit slide. I'm sorry, excuse my language. He's not gonna let that slide, period. He's not gonna let this slide, period. Especially having 3 other men show up at your door. Now, how in the hell, and I'm talking about Mary and Joseph, how in the hell can a woman be pregnant with the Son of God without Joseph even knowing? But 3 other men know. That ain't making no sense to me at all. You can call it what you want to call it. Christian people, call it what you want to call it. You can call it blasphemous, whatever. I don't give a damn. Call it what you want to call it. If you walk around with a picture of a man on your so-called crucifixion, you're blasphemous, because you don't even know what you don't even know what Jesus looked like. You getting a painting of a white person with a long ass beard is an indication that you're serving a Viking, just like Santa Claus. You're serving a Viking. But anyway, there is no way in the world that anybody should know that a married woman is pregnant with the Son of God. Nobody is not supposed to know that. Only person supposed to know that is her and Joseph. There is nobody else supposed to know that. You can tell me that story 100 times and I'm not going to believe none of that shit at all. Excuse my language. I'm not going to believe it. Because there is no damn way in the world 3 men is going to travel across desert lands following a star to a man's house with a wife that's pregnant that he didn't get pregnant. And you got 3 men with gifts. Seems like to me 3 men and somewhere got a hope to marry. And 3 of them feeling guilty because they trying to figure out who the father is. That's the only way I can see that story. Because if I live in the woods with my wife and she get pregnant and I didn't get her pregnant, and 3 motherfuckers walk, excuse my language, 3 people walk up to my door, 3 men with gifts come to my door and knock on my door, and say I came to aid the Son of God. No, you didn't. You ain't come to aid Nathan. You ain't came to aid Nathan, bro. What y'all even doing at my door? Because it's gonna get real hostile right now. But just by those 3 stories of the women, no vessels of Satan. It's just what it is. It gives you everything. It gives you everything to a woman not listening, to a woman using her body to destroy something good of a man, to a woman going out having sex with other men and getting pregnant on her husband. That's all in reality today. That's all in reality today. Women even get upset when women get pregnant of a woman that's with a dude that they like, and will build up a Satan ceremony hostile situation. Because what? She has the ability of Lilith and the ability of Eve. She's going to use Lilith, but she's going to use the emotions of Eve. And she's going to create a whole scene for nothing. Because everything that she's using is Lilith, being selfish. Want to have it my way. I want to dominate everything. It's about me and nobody else. Why she got to have your baby? Why I can't? All that dumb stuff. Y'all females is really, 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 really something. You get what I'm saying? But just on the preview, and I'm gonna do a summary to let y'all know that this religious theory is truly just based on the fact that women are the ones that need to really put themselves together if they really want to believe that they serve a God, because a woman cannot serve God by herself. Why? Because God never gave woman command, period. There is no word in the book where God gave woman a command to follow. All his commands went straight to a man. And that's the reason why Lilith is supposed to be Satan, because everybody overlooked When you say the word Satan, you automatically think it's a male. But if it's the most beautiful angel, how the hell can any male think that Satan was a man? That's funny as hell. Satan was never a man. Satan was a female. Satan was a female. The most beautiful? Men are not called beautiful. Women are called beautiful. So how in the hell you gonna think Satan was a male? If you're beautiful, you're a gay motherfucker. That's not being rude to nobody. But only a gay male would think he beautiful. But a man, he don't think he beautiful. If he would have said handsome, then you could have said Satan was a man. But he said beautiful, the most gorgeous, the most... That's a female all day long, yo. You see him on TV every day. Lilith every day. Cardi B, Lilith. Nicki Minaj, Lilith. All of them are Lilith. Any woman that talks against a male of command of God is a Lilith. Any woman who uses her emotions against a male for victimization, that's an Eve. Why? Because Eve don't listen. And Liliths want control. Put them together, you have a Lilith Eve, which is a dominant emotional female. A dominant emotional female. So women, not all, but women, check your nature, learn your species, and learn and know that God never gave y'all no commands at all. He gave y'all no commands at all. He told y'all what y'all had to do, but nah. He gave y'all no commands in the beginning of nothing. He told Adam to guide Eve. He didn't say Eve obey Adam. He didn't say none of that. He said Adam guide Eve. He didn't give a woman no command. Now any woman that's out there in the Christianity world, prove it to me. At the beginning of creation that he gave woman a command. The only ones that followed a command of a God was woman. And that God was Lilith, aka Satan. I didn't make it up. I didn't write it. It was wrote before I was born. And if y'all say those are the words of God written in the stones in Hebrew, then you should not be weary of what I'm saying. Excuse me. But yeah, women, y'all really need to tie yourselves down to some God commanding, obeying men. And stop making up these, I can't be happy. You can't be happy because you're a Lilith. You're only mad because of the Lilith trait in your system. Mad because God didn't talk to y'all in the first place. He had an argument with Lilith. They wasn't conversating. They was having an argument. She was trying to manipulate him. But he knew better. She was trying to manipulate God. Lilith was trying to manipulate God. That's why he said he cast her to hell. When he cast her to hell, guess what he cast her to? The Garden of Eden. Where she knew if he created another species of her character, that she would be able to manipulate her if she got away from Adam. Because Adam already knew who she was. Because she was the first one he saw, Lilith. And it didn't work. God said, nah, she couldn't work with Adam. Nah. She didn't want to work with Adam at all. She wanted to do what she wanted to do. So like I'm saying, is all gonna trickle down to what I'm saying from here, and it's going all the way down. The religion is going all the way down. I'm going straight to slavery. I'm going straight to everything. From slavery to religion to slavery to relationships to the concept of thinking, of common sense, how to develop a sense of wearing the shoes instead of talking about the shoes. You know, it's a lot of stuff I'm gonna catch on and stuff like that. But that is the caption of religion, of my theory of religion in the beginning, as far as in male and female species and the gods and who served what god and what god was actually a female or male. That is the whole core of the theory. So if you want to leave some comments, leave them. I'm very, very interested to hear what people are saying or what people want to say or question me about. Because like I say, I'm not right about everything, just a theory. How I read stuff and how I look at stories and tales and how I understand what a fable is or folklore is or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't know the different genres of storytelling. Storytelling are manipulative biographies or paragraphs that can make you believe, if you're not really careful about how you understand the words that defines the stories. Folklore, gothic, comic, spiritual, inspirational, motivational, all those are manipulation tools. But they can be used in positive ways. So on that note, I will bring you the next video. I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to come right behind this religion theory from the beginning of male and female species. And until next time, thank you. Tune in again, subscribe, hit the like button. I appreciate it. Things are going to get a little bit more hotter. But right now, I think I'm already warm in the pot. But thank you for tuning. And I will be with the next video. Thank you. Have a nice one.